Hello students, today we will learn keystone species. So what is keystone species? Let us know. See the definition. Keystone species is a species which has a disproportionately large effect to its abundance. And this definition was given by scientist Robert T. Piney in the year 1969. So, keystone species means a species which plays an important role in the ecosystem at a particular time, at a particular place. Now, what is the meaning of keystone species and why this term keystone is given to that particular species? So, let us know. We have seen the structure of arch. If this is a structure of arch, okay, and this arch can be made up of bricks or can be made up of stones, okay. Then if this is made up of stones are arranged like this, or bricks are arranged like this. So if you carefully see this diagram, this entire structure is a curvature structure and all the bricks are important over here in this structure, because this structure is entirely made of this bricks and bricks or stones only. But if you can see this middle structure, middle stone or the middle bricks is most important in this structure, because if we extract this middle stone or this bricks, then the entire structure will be destroyed. So that is why this stone is known as keystone, means which is very crucial, very important to hold the entire structure. Therefrom the term keystone was taken, means this species or that particular species which plays the key important role or plays the important pivot or pivotal role in the ecosystem, this species is known as keystone species. Okay, so which if this keystone species is being extracted, being removed from the entire ecosystem, then this ecosystem will be destroyed. The ecosystem, if this keystone species is being removed, the entire ecosystem will be disturbed or destroyed. Understand? Now there is an example, very interesting example we have regarding keystone species. In Pacific Ocean, what happened? Inside the Pacific Ocean, there is a large flora and fauna community. Okay, so inside Pacific Ocean, we can see the kelp community. Now, what is kelp? K-E-L-P, kelp. Kelp is an algal community. Okay, and this algal community forms an entire forest inside the Pacific Ocean, and this is known as kelp forest. So kelp is an algae and that form the entire forest inside the Pacific Ocean, under ocean forest it is, and this forest is known as kelp forest. Now this kelp forest under ocean, this kelp community houses numbers of vertebrates and invertebrates inside this ocean. And among this invertebrate structure, sea otter is an important fauna over there. Okay, and sea otter plays an important keystone species role, or it actually hold the role as a keystone species inside the Pacific Ocean. How? This sea otter feeds upon sea urchin. Okay, sea urchin is also a fauna, invertebrate fauna present inside the ocean. This sea urchin, what does the sea urchin do? Sea urchin kills the entire kelp forest. Sea urchin kills the entire kelp forest. It takes food from that kelp. Okay, and sea urchin, as we all know, sea urchin cannot make its own food. That is why sea urchin has to depend upon kelp to take the food, because kelp is algae and it can make its own food, and that is why sea urchin feed on kelp. Okay, and that is why sea urchin kills the kelp community inside the ocean. Now what happened if this kelp structure or the kelp forest is being destructed by the sea urchin or killed by the sea urchin, then it cannot houses these vertebrates and invertebrates faunas. That is why the entire structure will be disturbed. That is why sea otter, what do sea otter do? Sea otter is also a member of kelp forest. Sea otter eats the sea urchin. Okay, sea otter kills the sea urchin and feed upon the sea urchin. That is why sea urchin decreases in number, and if sea urchin decreases in number, then it cannot kill the entire kelp forest, and that is why kelp forest can be restored. Okay, and that is why sea otter is known as keystone species, because if sea otter was not present there, then the sea urchin killed all of the entire kelp forest, and there was no vertebrates, no invertebrates faunas would be present over there. So sea otter act as a keystone species over there. Okay, and this sea otter holds the entire system. This sea otter plays an important role in this ecosystem. That is why this is known as keystone species inside the Pacific Oceans community, and that is why this sea otter support the kelp forest indirectly, because if sea water was not there, sea urchin kills the kelp forest and kelp forest will be destroyed. Okay, so this is the structure, this is the system was restored by the help of sea otter. That is why sea otter is known as keystone species inside the Pacific Ocean. So this is all about keystone species.